What's going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to Game Day Live, the halftime show. The Cowboys trail 20-3 in what is a disaster of a first half. 17 points in any other game, maybe with a different quarterback, doesn't feel too crazy. But this one, I think the Cowboys needed to get 6 at the end of the half. They got 3 instead. So technically they're still in this thing, but not a pretty half. Jesse Holley here, Skywalker still. Dallas is down 20-3. Game Day Live halftime show. Go.
You know, we talked about this for weeks on end,
yeah.
And we'll start offensively. I said sometimes it's the ugly chick with the makeup on. You said
lipstick on a pig.
Lipstick on a pig. And offensively, this especially the passing game hasn't been an efficient thing.
No.
Last week, 10 total completions, and it sometimes gets masked when you have the wins. And even sometimes it even gets hard to even talk about it or to really dissect it because people go, well, we won. You're being a hater. Shut up, Jesse. We won. All you want to do is pick at this team. But what ends up happening is now you go into a game where you really have to have productivity. And the stat that you brought up earlier in the pregame show was 3 and outs. And the Cowboys' first possession, 3 and out. The second possession,
like
when they got the ball, was 5 and out.
Something like that. Yeah.
And you look at the time of possession, they got almost 10 minutes more. 10 minutes more do the Philadelphia Eagles have the football than the Cowboys. And so when you're faced with an offense that can go out there and score points, that can go out there and to be efficient, we also said in the pregame show, this was the first time that the Cowboys were actually going to face an offensive line that was put together that are starters in the National Football League. And kudos to Nick Sirianni. He's found a way to kind of almost neutralize the Lion. He's like, oh, whatever side that you're on,
we're gonna make you make a decision.
We're gonna make you make a decision. So if I can get you just to pause for a second, so whether it's gonna be quarterback, running back, then I got it. They've confused Dan Quinn and his defense. They've found their holes. Jalen Hurts, after that first series, have calmed down, kind of settled down a little bit, and has been able to make some completions. You know, this Philly football team is a good football team offensively and defensively. Now the Cowboys find themselves in a dogfight. 20 points at the half. The Cowboys have not given up 20 points
all year.
All year long, they've given up 20 points in one half.
Well, let's make no mistake about it. A lot of those 20 points are coming from your quarterback play, which has been downright atrocious.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is, and I would like to recant my statement from the pregame show.
I love, like, we have so much fun. We have so much fun watching the games. Will is an unhinged fan watching the game. I'm more calm, cool, reserved, like taking my notes. But Sky comes to me and he goes, hey Jess, I just want to tell you now, I want to recant my statement from earlier today. Cooper Rush is not going to have the game of his life. I was like, and we just start dying laughing. So
because I was trying to speak some positivity.
Yeah.
There's some positivity into Cooper Rush. But all week, honestly, for the last 3 weeks, I've been looking at this game and I've been like, this might be the one right here, man. This is on the road, Sunday night football. This is not a bad defense. People keep, this is a good defense. And this is an offense that can get you some points, right?
Yeah.
And we've been kind of playing with fire.
Yes.
Cooper Rush has been playing with fire. And what's the saying? The clock has struck midnight?
Yeah, the Cinderella carriage is now turned back into a pumpkin.
Cinderella carriage, he's turned back into a pumpkin. 5 for 16, 36 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Should have had 3. That either one in the end zone should have been.
I don't even know how much more. And here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? We don't need you to turn the ball over because really the Eagles have only had one sustaining drive. The other 2 have come on short fields.
Yeah, that was a hell of a drive. It was actually a 15-play, 80-yard drive for a touchdown.
That took
netted 7 minutes and 36 seconds.
And 2 fourth downs, 1 penalty, 1 they got.
Yep.
Right? But the thing is, we've seen the defense give that up once a game. Like, that's happened. But you can't continue to – how many times do we have to say this? Week in and week out. You cannot continue to make your defense have to play perfect. Yep. There will come a point in time where your defense is going to give up some points and your offense needs to help it out. 1 for 6 on third downs today.
Oof.
2 turnovers, and you're losing the time of possession battle by 10 minutes. That is not sustainable. Earlier, it wasn't sustainable, but this damn sure ain't. This isn't close to being winning football, right? So, that's why I felt you needed to get 7 at the end of this half right now, because 17, maybe with a different cue, feels different. 17 feels very hard to overcome right now.
No, it does. And I don't know where all the folks at that was like, keep Cooper Rush. What has Dak done for you? I don't know where y'all at now.
They about to tuck their tails and run.
This is what it is. And
you are who we thought you were.
And the winning has been able to mask some of it, but this is really, this is really what it is.
Yeah.
And we talk about glitching sometimes. Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy glitching. There was a play in this game where they were driving down the field and they throw a pass to Cooper Rush, completes a pass to CeeDee Lamb, and it looks like he dived forward, gets the ball extended.
That's Mike McCarthy
to a first down,
yeah.
And the ref comes in. I agree. You agree. Horrible spot. Even the announcer, the retired referee agreed that was a first down. But yet we have Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, whoever is in the booth upstairs that's supposed to go, hey, coach, throw the flag, to come down and
or at least call timeout.
This is the moment where you have to take a breath, right? Take a breath and go, all right, what are we doing? Now, either we're going to go for it, we're going to challenge it, either go for it or bang a timeout and get the perfect play because you were already backed up. You were on your 41-yard line. So being backed up in that situation when you're kind of almost chasing, I thought that was one of those glitchy moments, and it goes back to the game managing critique that people have had for a long time with Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy.
And it's so funny because we haven't had any really issues with game management for all season. And it comes in at an important time. This isn't when you're up and you can maybe critique it, like, it's cool, you got the dub, or it's cool, you up 10. No, that was a critical right. moment of the game where I kept telling you, at the very least, challenge it just to calm your guys down.
Right.
It was getting 14-0 at the time, I believe it was. Clearly, the lights are too big for Cooper Rush right this second. Clearly. So settle him down, call timeout, bang a timeout, or get the challenge flag in there. Because think about it. If you're going to go for it, get the right play in.
Right.
So it just, that compounded on top of everything. Penalties. You get backed up after already a bad return from Turpin, who did end up having a great return. But you get backed up, and then eventually what happens, Cooper Rush throws an interception later on in that drive. 4th and 4. 8 seconds left in the first quarter. They're not going to snap it. They're going to let the clock run out. Dante Fowler has a boneheaded. I don't care if you thought Mailata's. I don't care.
Right.
You don't jump until that ball is snapped, which you got to have awareness that they weren't going to. Why would they snap it?
Why would they snap it there? They had no reason.
No reason to snap it. So the awareness was gone. So, and it goes all the way back to when I said, see that penalty? You can't have it defensively because you have to be perfect.
Be perfect.
Because your offense is 3 and out, turnover, 3 and out, turnover. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because all the things that we talked about in the pregame show about masking bad offense.
Right.
Forcing your defense to play perfect. It's literally on display right now. And you're going up against an offense who, as much as we love this defense, they know how to move the ball a little bit.
Yeah. And what they've done, when I said earlier, they neutralized Micah Parsons in that linebacking core. Well, one, when they play in that RPO, it's the same thing as play action. It is play action. Like, it literally is play action without the quarterback having to turn his back to the defense. And now all Jalen Hurts is doing is, one, when they decide to run it, they're reading the defensive end, the extra guy. Or they're reading it in the pass coverage. And when you put it out there, those linebackers, whether it's Barr, whether it's Leighton Vander Esch, or Micah Parsons, they've all stepped up trying to stop that RPO, and they've just been delivering the ball right behind that. I think the possession that's kind of really defined this game, and I think when we go back and look at it, it will be the drive of the game. It's after the horrible – it's the Cooper Rush interception to Michael Gallup. I thought the route was horribly ran by Michael Gallup. It took him far too long to come out of that break. Then Cooper Rush compounded a bad route by throwing the ball back inside where an off defender,
2 of them,
was coming and was sitting in that interception. And then Philly said, here's where we're going to make our mark. short field, they ran the ball 6 straight times. I call it the Beanie Siegel drive. They went straight Broad Street bully. We ran it 6 times, and then we threw a little bit of a kind of a old school Bill Walsh sprint right option pass to A.J. Brown in the flat, who turns up and got it.
It was that read option play they ran early on 4th down and converted.
Right.
And this is why this is why when I say, hey, just keep doing stuff that works until it stops. That's what Philly's doing. They're not doing anything. This is a regular read option offense right now.
Right.
But the problem is, and here's where I say the read option differs from the play action, is in the play action, normally your quarterback is either going to play action and look for a pass. In the read option, your quarterback is an option to run the ball. And what they're doing is like what Collinsworth said. All right, Micah, we know you're great. We're going to make you think. Either you're going to come at me, the quarterback, or you're going to crash down to the running back. And what's happening is Micah might make the tackle, but he's making it 5 yards down the field because he's hesitant. And what they're doing is they're actioning off of that. They hid A.J. Brown. It's a great play.
Right.
And we haven't countered it. They hit A.J. Brown on the inside of a bunch at the snap. They don't do anything creative pre-snap. At snap motion or at snap action is though they're very creative. They have him come across the field off of a read option, and now you have numbers. Now Micah or whoever the hell it is has to decide, do I come out on this guy that's coming on his speed option, or do I go get the quarterback? Oh, by the way, say you got a cornerback that's on A.J. Brown, he's got to fight through all this mess to get over here. So they're doing basic stuff that hadn't really got to the Cowboys from weeks 1 through 5. But this is Philly's DNA. It's not anything that they're doing to mask. Like, yeah, Joe Burrow does it. They do little things like that. But it's for play. This is Philly's offense, so they know like the back of their hands.
And they're able to do it with their starting offensive line. That is so crucial and key because, again, when you talk about A.J. Brown coming down the line of scrimmage, if those linemen are getting kicked back, to our point, if you go back and you look at the 4th down play that the Cowboys ran, they would have had it, but what happened? They were in a rush. CeeDee Lamb and another guy run into each other, which throw the timing off. Because now you're trying to wish through all that nonsense. The Philadelphia Eagles have figured out a way to do it. They have their starting offensive line. We said that they were going to have the best offensive line that they've seen thus far, and they're able to do it without missing a beat. Guys aren't off track. Guys aren't getting knocked around. They're able to know it, be lockstep, and go ahead and complete the play.
I've gotten maybe too overconfident defensively with the RPO stuff, read option stuff, because it hadn't really been working on Dallas. But I think now we're seeing that still is low-key the Achilles heel. Not even low-key, high-key. It is the Achilles heel for Dallas. So they're going to have to clamp up on that because they're just allowing the Philadelphia Eagles offense and the running backs to make easy missed tackles. We talked about this in the show this week. You got to wrap up. You got to tackle, right? What happens when you don't tackle right when they get the ball? They get a couple extra yards. Oh, we'll go for it. Put the pressure on you. So I think Dallas has to wrap up defensively, figure out this RPO situation, and try to score in special teams, try to score on defense because offensively, I don't see it, man.
Yep.
We'll see, though. Hopefully we get a Cooper Rush second-half performance like against the Minnesota Vikings because he was trash in the first half. Second half, he wasn't. All right, the kickoff just happened. Cowboys Nation, come back with us. Jesse Alley, Skywalker Still. Game Day Live.